All right, let's see here. We are going to get started this afternoon. I'm going to shift this on over to the 4 panel chart, and we can look at everything we talked about today, this morning, and the results therewith. So looks like we did kind of what we were looking at here. A little difference here on the VIX. We had a little higher pop than I was expecting here. So we popped up a little bit with a rejection here off the daily 9. Came back up and actually rejection off of the trend line. So excellent. Trend has been tested and rejected, and we are now setting new lows for the we're now setting new lows for the VIX. So headed back down. This is our goal, 18 and a quarter, 18,250. Same thing on ES. So exactly said mid-morning-ish, kind of pushed down a little further down than I had currently anticipated. Similar with the VIX here on the escalation, but all's good. We bounced back off of the. Actually, we bounced back off of the trend line here, and we pulled the 4-hour 20, and then ultimately support here at the 4-hour 9, which was kind of
Can you share your
initial
screen,
pullback.
please?
Yes, I can, and I thank you for letting me know that I'm not. I forgot about that. Let's see here. It's always nice when you can see what I'm talking about. Sorry, I didn't read your message there either. All right, good. So again, just recap for you since you're here. So VIX elevated, ultimately pushing down, trying to set new lows here, target 18,250. ES pullback like we discussed this morning, a little steeper than I had anticipated, but nonetheless rebounded, pushing up, and here we are towards the end of the day. So how that translates in SPY, you can see this giant candle here, 4-hour 9 acting as support, pushing us on up. We have recovered through all of the mess. So we are on top of the entire mess here for the SMAs, putting them underneath us. None of them have turned, so to speak. So we still have the 4-hour 9 as support. The 20 is working its way, but we still have the weekly 9, the daily 9. Actually, daily 9 is in support now too, but the weekly 9 we have to turn. So all that stuff isn't necessarily giving us the best support pieces right here, but we do have reached above them, which was the current goal, setting a new high for the entire week. So this is excellent news here, pushing on up higher here. Let's look at that on the war chart. Again, we have our morning open here. We start to reach up, get pummeled down, push down pretty hard, all the way down to a low lower than the than London low. So setting a new low for the overnight as well, reaching deep into yesterday's candle territory, and then a very hard and strong bounce out, pushing us up over the 5-minute and the 9:20, and then above the 4-hour 50 in regular trading hours, which I have these lines are here for regular trading hours. This is where we manipulated. We had some consolidation here, a pullback to try to test those levels, rejected at the 4-hour 20, pushed us back up. Nice strong run here too, running right up the 4-hour 9 here, and then grabbing onto the 5-minute 9 here, you see, and we haven't lost it yet. So not a single candle has started below the 5-minute 9. That is our prevailing trend. Prevailing trend is always the smallest SMA that we can fit into the cycle, with the cycle being there. So that is all good news there. 20 not even utilized. We're setting here high of the day is still back here 75.15 in the overnight session. That is the target, so looking for that there. How can we get there? Well, VIX is giving us a little bit of breathing room here, starting to drool down below 18,350 with the target of 18 and a quarter, but it's about to set a new low for the day, and once it does that, I think we see it collapse a little bit. I think the market's ready for that for the weekend. And then we have oil over here at around 85-ish, just kind of meandering in this area here. So not going to give up on this, but I don't think this is going to count as much towards the end of the day here like it normally does. Skipping over to SPY on the daily chart. just looking at this consolidation that we've had here. So we continue to have these drops, the pullbacks lower than high, drops, pullbacks higher than high, drops, pullback. Now this pullback, we're looking to reach these goals here. So again, I want to at least cap out at this trend line here on the top side. That will give us a good peak to aim for. We do need to get some of this stuff turned around and heading our way, especially the weekly 9. I'd like to see that weekly 9 change. However, closing above it will do a tremendous amount for us here today, but the higher the better for the averages to add into that play. We will drop we'll drop a pretty low number on the weekly 9 too, so that'll be good as well. It's way back down here, so that'll again, this is 9-week calculation on the close, so that's back here, and that'll be good. Now let's move on over to NVIDIA. So NVIDIA, as expected, a little bit of drop, and then we're going to get the push. Here's the push. We set a high today, higher than, we're trying to set a high here today, higher than yesterday. Actually, 24-hour candle, we are there now. So we are there now. This is looking at yesterday's cycle here. So definitely going to push up. Again, I told you guys, don't expect this thing to run hard. We just need it to run in the right direction, for which it is doing right now. I can actually give this a decent trend line now that we have some of these pieces together. A little bit better there. That looks like more of the trajectory we're following with NVIDIA. So we'll keep that going. Just understand one thing that I am noticing here too is that NVIDIA does have a hard ceiling here. This is a very tough spot for it. So we need to escape out of this area here. It looks like we are right on the edge of it. Last time was rejected in the last candle prior to our noon candle here on the 24-hour. So weekly 20 needs to be taken, and that's where we're struggling here. But I expect we'll be able to take that pretty shortly. Soxel, so same thing with Soxel. Backtest onto the 4-hour 9. That backtest held. We are now pushing up higher and recovering from that slight backtest there. Over the weekend, again, this will push. We're eating a little bit of apple dust here. And trying to settle out with that. Plus, we have the gains from yesterday that we are mulling through right now. Yesterday's high was yesterday's close actually was at 114. So we're still clearly well above those numbers right now here at 119. So. Soxel's in great shape. Chart looks good. Back tests are healthy. Everything's going in the right direction here. MU, same, right? This is Soxel's chart, just with a little bit more spread, and a couple bigger numbers on it. That's all it is. So we're doing basically the same thing here. We're below the 9 here on MU, which is a concerning difference. However, this is tends to react in this way. So expecting MU to continue to push on higher. We will look for trouble here at the daily 9. We had lost the 370, which gave us that push down initially. So we're going to try to take that back and push here. I don't expect any trouble with MU over the weekend. CRDO backtest again, 4-hour 9, push back up here on the recovery. All this is healthy. We had a huge gains yesterday. Everybody's trying to get back into shape here. Make sure that we don't need to go back lower. That's what those backtests do. They test the market to see if the market has appetite to continue pushing. So, hey, I'm going to sell here. If I sell all this stuff here, do you guys want to follow me and I'll sell and crush it? The answer was no. It was rejected, pushing back on up. 4-hour 9 is a healthy MA for people to want to follow, and that's why we utilize it. CoreWeave, bigger dump there, and again, it's it's trying to test it out of this channel, so definitely held. The 9 is finally hitting positive territory for the first time in quite some time, so looking forward to seeing CoreWeave whip around here. Let me just let me get rid of these two. What did I do? I deleted the wrong one. Of course I did. So we want the time hopper. Give us some trend here, and I'm going to just move this on over to our 24-hour chart, and I do like to see my RTHs just in case. Okay, and I'd love to spread this out a little bit. And here we go. So yeah, so definitely a big pullback here. We're still above. We're above the 4-hour 9 on the regular trading hours too, with a slight increase there, like I talked about. And then obviously you have the 4-hour 9 on the 24-hour. We are below. So looks like we're in a little bit of consolidation for this too. Doesn't look too dissimilar to the other ones, but be a little more skeptic of this chart here, based upon the fact that we lost a climb out of here when there actually wasn't anything to push this in that way. So we were doing pretty well here to try to suit that. We need to take out 83.06 or 83.36 before I will look at this in terms of a swing or getting in much longer trades. AMD on its pullback too, slightly different than the cohort, as it typically does a little bit different action here, but it is all the same. It rejected off the weekly 9 here, which is negative, pushed down through the daily 9, which is negative, and then we are here on the second candle for the day in the 24-hour. Oh no, this is regular trading hours. This is the first candle of the day, so we'll see that flip over. Let me swap this over here. Now, hadn't done this one yet, and there you go. We can see we're recovering here off of the 9. Look how nicely that all sits together right there. So this chart looks pretty good here from this standpoint then. Tesla. All right, we had our pullback here, right? We're trying to reach up, reach out. We get our pullback down. Pullback was rejected on top of the 4-hour 9. Things are looking good for Tesla. We do need to start to gain some traction here. This is in the early stages of the recovery from this consolidation down here, so don't don't think we're out of the woods yet. But it looks like every day we're gaining a little bit of ground. So need to close above 310. 60, let's see, where was it? Yesterday was 308.85. So as long as we close above 308.85 today, we're gaining ground. SMAs are working in our favor, and that should give us the room that we need to continue on up higher. There. Not expecting this to jump and launch yet until we get a catalyst. I don't have a catalyst in mind for this yet. Robotaxi is kind of old news in this, unless we get actually subscriber revenue numbers from that, which I don't suspect we're going to see for some time. Other than that, we have a few dullish issues coming up that might be helpful, but nothing that's really going to put an iron in the fire. SpaceX, what did I tell you guys? Here we go. Gonna go breach this again. Looking for SpaceX to breach my weekly low at 107, or I should say the 7-day low that I have on the consolidator here. See, I've got that set for 7 days, and once we get and do that, then we will start to accelerate down into the 90s. So, looking for that breach right now. Nice little consolidation on the hype pump from NASA or the U.S. government contract, but that doesn't go anywhere real quick, and nothing is going to happen with this company quickly. Space exploration slash tech in space takes time, and contracts mean very, very little in this industry. So sell the hype when you hear it, and then we'll continue on down. Again, I'm looking for mid 80s as a target on this short, you're going to get these pop backs up, back testing all the all the MAs that's going to happen here to see what the appetite is. The appetite was rejected, and down we go. Apple, well, we all know the Apple story already. So we heard that this morning. The exit it was yesterday up here. So we're just going to wait for the floor. I told you guys I'd have a buy-in opportunity for Apple by this afternoon. The unfortunate thing is that this knife is still falling. So we need to hold 300. We are at a low of 300. That is the number that it needs to go. This is probably the bottom. Wicks below would be okay. Apple will recover. It is getting severely punished. It's not my favorite company in the world, but it is a technological force to be reckoned with. So this is probably, if you're going to buy a falling knife, if you have that experience and risk tolerance, this is probably a good spot. Let's look at the 5-minute here on the breakdown. So we can see, coming in the overnight, we're down, we're down 32 points at this level here. So we come down 32 points, we pop back up. This means nothing. This pop back up has absolutely nothing to do with recovery. It has to do with forced buying, and again, it teeters out right away. So that forced buying, because it clipped into certain areas, people set buy zones, etc. There's a whole pile of things that happen on the institutional level, and then this comes back down immediately from retail and institutional, both different sides, and we start to consolidate. We don't get to see until 11:30 this morning the 5-minute 9. It took us all morning to even get the SMA to try to attack it. Look at that vertical 5 minute nine. It comes down and it just pummels it. So what we're having now is we're having pushback on here, constant pushback on that 5 minute nine, trying to turn it and flatten it, and it's successfully doing so. We're flattening that 5 minute nine. It is still negative. And let me give you a clearer picture on that. Actually, why isn't this? I'll just get our. Get rid of this. Let's put a real tool on here. A Trend Rebel tool. There we go. We got a Trend Rebel tool on there. I'm going to go into my settings and make sure that we have some separation on these puppies. And hit OK. And there we go. So now we should be able to read it. There we go. See, 5 minute nine is now finally. Oh, wait. Wait. Is my time hopper on? Yes, it is. RTH. We're good. Okay. So 5 minute nine is finally turned up here, and we're starting to see support from that. So that's the first level of support just gained. That level of support will push us into the 5 minute 50, 5 minute 20. 5 minute 20 is slowing down too. Again, very, very early on in the recovery. First of the flattening from the overnight here, and we're actually seeing some green in here, which isn't bad. So if you wanted to take a risk on Apple, if this was something of interest to you to try to buy the floor of Apple, 300 was the projected floor. 300 has held. So if you were able to purchase Apple or AAPL, APLL, whatever the 2 times multiplier is. I lost it in my brain here for a minute. This would be a good spot to take an attempt, and obviously putting 300, put 299.90 as your exit in case we do not hold those numbers as well. So it is always possible to get a further push down. That exit would be fine. I'm actually going to bring this up here. So we're going to put that here like we just talked about, 299.95-ish, right? Right there. So there's our exit if you do want to take an entry into Apple. This is extremely risky trade due to the fact that we are recovering from a falling knife, and the speculation that the bottom is in is very, very tough to call right here on that. Only thing that's giving me that is the actual level that we're at and the importance of it. So there are grounds for this sticking, but it can be lost in very well. This is not a structural 300. This is a psychological 300. So make sure you put your stop loss in place. All right, enough on Apple. I've spent way too much on Apple. Amazon, I called yesterday that it would not be the performer compared to Apple, and it was the flip. So here's the flip in. Where is that Amazon? Oh, there it is. There. Yep, it went. It definitely took off, and kudos for Amazon. So look at these SMAs chasing Amazon. We have the complete inverse of what happened with Apple here, and these MAs came in and have actually provided support, and we're leveling out. You can see a clear ceiling here. You'd never ever want to chase this. If you did buy earnings, congratulations. The best thing to do on an earnings play like this is if you're in it, especially if you're in contracts, is to exit all of your contracts. The reason being is that those contracts are no longer valid for this price range. your contracts are probably deep in the money, and you do not want to hold them anymore because you have a high likelihood of reduction for many factors. The best thing to do is to buy new contracts in these areas that you are for looking. But the real best thing to do is to wait for the 4-hour 9. And let me just make it easier, give you a better 4-hour 9 to wait for. Gosh, I love it when we see the RTH to 24-hour slip around. Look at that. So this 24-hour 4-hour 9 is much, much faster moving because it actually moves with the market as it's happening. It doesn't have to take the averages of candles that don't exist. So here we go. So the back test or the catch up of that 4-hour 9 would be my instance to go ahead and play off of. Entering in here is chasing. Selling here is smart. There's nothing wrong with selling here at all. Can this continue up? Of course it can. We're at a key point here though in elevation that we want to just make sure you take your profits and hold them while we're continuing to take this run. So that's Amazon in a nutshell. Netflix, I think I wrote here yesterday, target weekly 9, consolidation potential rejection here at the 4-hour 50, and we did reject. So we're going in the other direction. 4-hour 20 curling up as support, daily 9 as support. This will bounce. So this will look more like here, and then from here to up like that. So that is the projected path here now of Netflix, assuming that that the daily 9 holds and the 4-hour 20 will be pushing up underneath that by the time these candles get down to here. So a very slow and painless entry here at the daily 9 if you look at it, exit if lost. So kind of haven't looked at getting into Netflix, but I love a back test, and this is perfect. So coming in here on this back test for the daily 9 and push up, I'll take that, and all very, very simply and easily I will exit if lost. So let me go ahead and give you guys some tools here. Why can't I draw a line? It doesn't want me to draw. Oh, I have to push a button to bring that out. All right. So where are we going to do that? Exit. We're going to exit right in here below that daily 9, and but we want to buy when we hit it too. We want to buy when we get right in there. But just giving you guys a clue as to where that sits on the table. Google. Where is Google? Google launched. Good for Google. I said this yesterday. Go back and read the tape that Google was primed and ready to go. That it was going to continue to propagate from that beatdown that it took on the earnings side. It definitely recovered. It looked smooth. We had a consolidation here and then a push up. So this was an easy call to make. For Google, it's just like it's an easy call to make for Apple. It's in the same scenario here at the bottom. Going to see a little consolidation, and then it's going to pull up. So don't forget to same thing with Apple. This is the Google chart, but same thing with Apple is going to be where it's not going to be the next candle in a V-shaped recovery in Apple. It's going to be a little bit of consolidation, back test, check, and go, and before we take off. So you do not have to be the first one in on that. But if you are looking for a play and you don't want a reminder, that is an area you can go to. Meta. Meta is coming back into action here. 24-hour, 4-hour 9, popping back up. Still a little bit of cloudiness here in consolidation. I suspect by next week we will see Meta start to recover a little stronger. And that is about it. We are at 137. We are into the new candle. Look at that. We're going to push up as suspected. I want to take 75.24 and look at here. Look what we have here with the VIX. Boom. Back test right onto my 18.25. I wanted to lose that, so if we can get a little bit more push out of here, then we can get a little bit more drop over here. So need this to escalate quite a bit here to do that. And let's see, what's my level here for SPY? I don't think we're going to get all the way up here, but we could see as high as 748 today. That's just kind of tossing a dart over here, but because these supports are actually going to turn around. So we've got a nice run here. I honestly, as far as weekends look, this is probably the best looking weekend in the lot of them that we've had for a while. So I feel pretty good about this weekend's play. I'd like to see ES close above that 75.24.75 today, and I'd like to see the VIX drop below. I'm not going to get everything I want every single time, but this looks good. And again, just look at SPY here on that 5-minute. Okay, it's a 1-minute chart, but that 5-minute 9 SMA, just holding it all the way through and just launching. Keep back testing that 5-minute 9, keep bouncing back up. It's a great thing to see. All right, I don't have anything else for you guys. I would ask if somebody would be willing to actually speak. I would appreciate it. I've tried a new method here. I've got a wired microphone, and I want to make sure that I'm not crackling on the other side and hear you guys okay, and that is actually getting translated into the recordings properly. So if one of you wouldn't mind speaking, I'd really
Hey,
appreciate it.
Banana, you sound pretty good, buddy.
Thank you very much. That sounds great.
You're very welcome.
And I did a new thing too. I'm time stamping all the videos for you guys as well so that you can see the recording times and all that on them and everything else. MHM, you had a lot of questions this morning. Were you able to pile in on the back test?
So I did not really pile in.
Okay.
I made a little bit of money on some puts and some calls that I sold. I'm just holding on the contracts that I purchased closer to the bottom. Was it yesterday or the day before?
Yep.
Whatever, the day before. Yeah.
Yep, 2 days ago. Excellent. Okay, good.
Yeah. So, but I guess I guess leading into this coming week. I'm always so skittish with the burning that got done for the account for the past 2 weeks. So
Yep.
wondering, like,
Just wait for Monday then.
I,
If we
yeah,
look solid on Monday and we can clear a couple of these levels, especially if ES can take out that 75.24, and if we can see the VIX drop below that 18.250, I mean those are your first and foremost key indicators for what's going to happen. So we take those two levels in unison, and we're going to get a nice push up. I do believe we're going to get a little bit of a euphoric run here, not crazy, but enough to get us to push out of here with some positive relief. I think it's overdue. But I do also think we hit a brick wall in probably 2 weeks. So, get in, take your profits, enjoy them, and then and I will do my best to point out that brick wall. It's not next week though.
or traders environment.
Yeah,
Not
it's been that
not
way, right? It's been
yeah, no,
crazy
it's
that way.
fucking ridiculous. Yeah, just one way. That's why I just started having to play both sides. 'Cause it's like the moves on those chips
Yep.
just in a few days is just crazy. So it's like you can capitalize on the not not even get at at the top as on a foot, but just like ride the wave down, ride the wave up.
Well, I
Then
think you've got the right idea. In this type of environment, one of the better ways to make money is to do cash secured puts and cover calls, so you can kind of play both sides and secure yourself with equity. So you're never actually flat out. You're never in the scenario where you're going to lose if once you exit your position. You can just recover on anything with shares over time, and we know everything that we play is going to recover over time. So cash
yeah,
secured puts, covered calls, those are the ways to handle highly manipulative markets like this. It gives you a massive edge on it, and when your account may look red, you're going to be rewarded with the fact that you're given an instrument that you can just hold on through to prosperity. So
versus fucking selling,
versus single
panic
leg
selling.
contracts, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
that
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that
Exactly.
addiction is real and it's fun and whatever. But and playing cash secure puts and playing cover calls is it requires an account with some substantial size to it, and a lot of people don't have that. So single legs are their only option, which is why we try to cover it that way too, to make sure everybody can play. But
Heard.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, when in doubt, it's always better to be the market maker than to be the liquidity.
Heard. All right, brother.
Thank
Yeah,
you so much for
thanks.
chatting with me so I can adjust all my sound tools. I've been
Yeah,
doing
sorry
that
for
while we're
banging
talking,
around.
and I appreciate it. So I think I finally, I won't know until I hear Jinja talking because he is always, when you guys hear him, I think he's consistent. When I hear him, it's every 3 seconds. It's a chop, 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 and I believe that that's actually due to my microphone and not his. So I think I've made some adjustments here today. I've swapped out for an older style micro headset that I have, and I think we're good to go. But anyway, yeah. Thanks again. Anybody else have anything? All right, guys. I will be here still on the trading floor, answering questions or doing whatever. And for the next 5 minutes, I will shut down this recording and post it on up. So I will also hang back here in case you want me. If I don't see you guys on the trading floor, have a great weekend. Enjoy yourselves. Turn this shit off and go touch grass and have some fun out there. All right, guys. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.